Hi everybody and welcome to Folk Hero, a game that you maybe perhaps recall from, the summer Next Fest, because I did play it during that period in time. Well, now the game is out. This is no longer a demo, it's a full game. But I'm just really going to show you kind of whatever, a run or two, depending on how well I do, and just kind of talk about it. I personally still think it has some just really amazingly enjoyable graphics. It's got like this retro feel to it, and then it also has satisfying combat. It's a really satisfying game to play. There's a pretty decent amount of progression that goes on. There's all kinds of different things that you're going to run into when you go into these different rooms. The way that your flag system works is actually really cool. It really makes the game have a little bit more of a focus on, exploration than you might expect for different style of games. But you definitely have like a purpose in exploring here, because not only do you get stuff for exploring in different locations, unlocking new rooms and things like that, you also get to find cool little trinkets and doodads and other things that you can use to I guess overall, do better, Now, I will say that I did get a free copy from the developers. I actually won this back in, back during Next Fest in the summer, like in June. They were asking for ideas about coin titles, and I can't remember which one I came up with it. I have no idea if they used it or not, but I'd, interacted during the stream, and one of the developer streams what they were doing, and yeah, they kind of felt like I deserved a coin, and or a game key, and I have one. So, thanks to them, for the developer and publisher for hooking me up with a key. It was super appreciative. You can play this with a controller if you want. I personally find that it works best for me if I use the mouse and keyboard, probably because I like the extra level of accuracy I seem to get when it comes to using a mouse than I do compared to like a controller, but it's entirely up to you what you choose to play with. I think that the controller plays plenty fine. I just prefer, like I said, the keyboard and mouse just because it works really well for me. Maybe just because I'm just mostly a PC gamer at heart, and I don't know, it just works really well for me. I do not need health. This is like one of the first runs I've done where I didn't need health right away. I usually get just blasted by these guys. But you have ranged weaponry, you have your melee attack, you have a special attack that you can use, you can pick up items that will give you a special ability as well. There are hazards in the level as well that enemies can run into, so there's a lot going on. It's just really, really cool. And the enemies look pretty cool too. I personally really like the forest level simply because I'm probably just better at the forest level. I do find that you take a lot of damage for everything, at least in the beginning. As time goes by, you can upgrade your character with some permanent unlocks to do some things a little bit, makes life a little bit easier, but until then, you're gonna find that you take a lot of damage, and you gotta be, I guess, cautious. But enemies do drop health, there's health places, so, I mean, it's pretty good. Some of these, I don't ever, some of the things you can unlock, like what I just unlocked there, I never use it. Because it's just, the cooldown's really long, and it's just something that just isn't as beneficial as I would like. I wish those gave you more health. Kinda weird. It's probably in your best interest to actually look at every single room, but I have missed a room, so we're not going to worry about it, and we're just going to keep pushing. I could have gone for the items, but it's fine. I'm not sure if I like prefer the fire more or the poison. There's a couple of different, like, I guess, I don't really know if I should call them like boosts or exactly what I should call them, but they're essentially these little passive abilities you get for your weapons. You can either have it on your melee attack or you can have it on your range attack, but it, you know, can add things like fire or poison, bleed, stuff like that, and I find it, you know, works really well. I personally think I like fire more than anything else, but at the same time, bleed is pretty cool. You know, all of the passives are actually really cool. And then, you know, killing these, like, elite monsters, you get to, like, go into, like, the new area and start to explore and find some new cool stuff. And, what does this go? Oh, this just tells us we're going up. My goal is hopefully to, you know, at the very least, get to, like, the first boss. And, you know, hopefully kill them, but if I don't, it doesn't matter. Like, I just kind of want to show off what the game looks like when you first start and kind of what to expect. If I happen to get enough flags, you know, I'll be able to do a permanent upgrade, but I will just show you no matter what. I really like that you can stack things. You're able to stack your kind of like your passives that you get. So I have now fire and bleed. And it looks like we can potentially upgrade something. What do we got for me, my dude? We got a rune of bleeding or rune of fire. So fire would add it a little bit. Okay, that's potentially useful. Bleeding doesn't seem like it does as much compared to the fire. So I'm gonna go with fire. I'm gonna keep it on the bow because if you hadn't noticed, I really primarily use the bow. I like the ranged weaponry. There is a bit of a delay, you know, for how long you are. Yeah, there is a bit of a delay when you go to shoot, but I consider that you're aiming and everything, and once you start shooting, it goes relatively quick. But it's just really useful to kind of stay out of the range of enemies. They've made ranged combat just really enjoyable. One of the other things they did is they made all of these like hazards, I wouldn't really call them elemental hazards, but there's all these hazards in the level, which it's just really cool to know that, you know, enemies have to be careful as well when they attack you. If not, there's a very real potential that they are going to get killed, you know, by themselves. And I think that's a really cool aspect. Something that you don't really see in a lot of games. AAA, indie, it doesn't matter, just a lot of people seem to typically make it to where enemies can just run around and do whatever they want, and that doesn't happen here. Here the enemies have to worry about traps, you know, hazards on the ground, and it really makes me happy to know that that is a thing. Let's see, increase our max life. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to look and see if it showed us how much it would increase. Oh well. And if you look at the map, you can see there is a little skull. The skull basically tells you that that is the, you know, boss for this area. If I wanted to, I could keep playing through this area until I felt like I had killed enough or explored enough or done something enough to warrant waiting. But considering I got like a lot of, well, I had a lot of health, but considering I have so much health, considering that the, you know, enemies are, you know, relatively dead, I feel like it's probably a pretty safe experience for me to kind of go ahead and go to the next, just go to the enemy boss, but looks like I've got possibly enough money to buy something. And considering I'm going to do range combat almost exclusively to fight the boss, it's just going to work out for me to try to do at least one more upgrade if I can. I don't find that this actually does much good damage at 70, but yeah, I don't really use this particular spell very often, and mostly because it's just that cooldown is ridiculous. Alright, let's just head back over to here, and away to the boss I shall go. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get any, like, items. Items that I could put down to be very specific on that. I can't remember if did I heal or not. I think I healed. Did I don't remember. I guess I'm gonna go check. I probably could do without healing, but I don't want to take the risk. And for the most part, you're never going to really have to do any backtracking. I do wish the game gave you this kind of more clear indication if you had gone and used something in a room. So there's not really a way for you to determine that you've been in a room and actually cleared it. Or if you've used something, so you kind of go into a room and say, did I go and use the health because once you use it, it's done? Did I buy something from this store, although you could buy multiple things if you have the gold? You know, did I... you know, make the upgrade. I do wish the game gave you some kind of indication that you would, you know, done those things or something, just because you often can kind of end up going to a location that you don't need to go to because you've already finished everything you can finish there, and you just weren't aware of it. But I think that's a minor gripe, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a very minor complaints. Well, 100 health should be fine. All that for nothing. All that just to get my... Well, I'm glad that I got that unknown potion, which actually took away health. So that is one of the things you have to worry about. Oh, that's okay, that worked out. Is sometimes you will find an unknown potion, and you don't know what it is. It could be good, it could be bad. The only way to find out is to actually try it. I just recommend you, you know, eat and drink everything. So I think this boss particularly, you know, basically every time I've done it, it's relatively easy. I'm just going to cheese it. I'm going to show you this cool little trick you can do that just kind of makes everything easy. Because it often will get stuck in the trees if you time it just right. think I'm doing it too quickly. I need to wait until a certain point to get it to really kind of... But basically, there's a point where it'll just start running amok like crazy, like it was doing before, and you can just kind of hide behind its little hut here. And you don't have to worry too much. It's really just not going to be big, you know, too big of a deal. Alright, I feel like none of that should have happened. Oh, he's done this feared thing, so to get you close and you have to push the reverse button in order to go. That's certainly a thing that happens, and I don't have enough stuff, so we're going to go back and try it again. I'm obviously not going to get it. I'm just... I kind of just sucked all the wind out of my sails with dying right there. So I'm just going to go and I'm just going to get enough of the, you know, the flag to actually upgrade, make an upgrade for my character. I will point out the game isn't easy. As you can see, I got completely hosed there. Probably part of my own hubris that led to that, but the game, the more you play, probably the easier it becomes, the better off you are at figuring out how to do certain things. You know, what attacks work best, how to properly fight the bosses. I just got, like, apparently way too sure of myself on how to fight that last boss. Or, you know, that boss. Not the last one, it's the only one you've seen in this video, but I don't know, it worked for me relatively easy last time, so I just don't know exactly what went wrong. Except for I died. And that broke my heart a little bit. Alright, I definitely have enough. I definitely have enough flags to get my first permanent upgrade, and that's all I need. So I'll just let these guys kill me. Kill the bat first, because we wanted to get rid of the bat, because the bat could cause somebody to have rabies. Actually, it killed me. Alright, so that's done. It doesn't matter which one I choose. I get to come over here to the trainer, and now I can actually make some upgrades. I don't know what these do. It's going to be a while before I even get to 600, 900, 1200, 1500. But yeah, you've got your different options here. You can add some to your health. It gives me an increase of 8% to my damage. I can buy it. I can activate it. It's active. Now, one of the things I don't like is that it's going to cost me 200 to do again, and then I'm assuming it's going to just keep escalating and escalating, and that kind of adds this like level of grind that I'm not a huge fan of. But considering this is like the kind of game that you're going to play and it's going to give you a lot of time to play it, and it is rather entertaining and fun, and I think it probably only took me about 4 or 5 runs, so like within an hour of gameplay, I would say minimum. I was able to hit the 100 flag requirement, and probably some of that was spent just kind of goofing off and looking around and taking a look at some of these and being like, oh, let me see what I can do. So I think, you know, there are certainly plenty of ways for you to actually get far enough and do things so it doesn't seem as slow progression-wise, and it can go pretty quick. And like I said, the combat's pretty solid, the artwork is fantastic. I think it's a solid game. If you're looking for an action kind of roguelike, I think this is one that you should probably play. It is quite fun.